All right, welcome. If you're in the mining game, you know that the annual work plan, the RKAB, is pretty much everything. And for 2026, the entire process has been completely turned on its head. So today, we're going to walk you through a step-by-step guide to make sure you get that all-important approval.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the new rules and, more importantly, why they've changed. Then, we'll cover the pre-submission checklist, the stuff you absolutely have to do first. After that, we'll break down the new 10-matrix application, explain the super high-stakes evaluation cycle, and finally, we'll talk about what to do after you get that green light.
Okay, let's dive right in. So, why this massive overhaul? Well, the government has totally ditched the old 3-year RKAB. Now it's an annual thing, and the reason is simple. Global commodity prices are all over the place. An annual plan gives the government way more control to protect state revenue. The end goal? A system that's faster, more responsive, and a heck of a lot more transparent.
And this right here really tells the whole story. You can see we're moving from this clunky, really complex process that had like 30+ forms to a streamlined system with just 10 core forms. It's all about speed, efficiency, and making things clearer for everybody involved.
And you know, this isn't just some random bureaucratic change. The Director General of Mineral and Coal put it perfectly. They said they're pushing for more transparency and better governance. And that makes sense, right? By simplifying the system, it's not just easier for you to comply, it's also way more straightforward for the government to oversee the whole sector.
Okay, get your calendars out because you need to circle these dates in red. The submission window opens sharp on October 1st and it slams shut on November 15th. Now, if you miss that deadline, you're not out of the game, but you will start getting a bunch of official warnings that you really want to avoid.
All right, let's get into the practical stuff. Before you even dream of starting the application, there are 2 things that are completely non-negotiable. And trust me, if you get these wrong, your application is dead in the water before you even begin. First things first, your company has to have a fully activated account on the Minerbaone platform. No excuses. Second, and this one is the real biggie, your feasibility study, your FS, has to be submitted and, crucially, fully approved. Think of that approved FS as the golden key that unlocks the door to your entire RKAB application. Without it, you're going nowhere. And here's exactly why that feasibility study is so critical. The new system is smart. It literally reaches into your approved FS and automatically pulls key data. We're talking production capacity, block names, all that good stuff, right into your RKB. So if your FS has a mistake, well, that mistake gets copied right over. It's basically a guaranteed rejection. You have to get it right the first time. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of it, the application itself. The whole thing is now built around just 10 simple matrices. This is a huge change from the old days with over 30 different forms. This is where that promise of efficiency really starts to feel real.
Honestly, this new system is designed to make your life a whole lot easier. Your legal data, bam, it's pulled in automatically. Those tedious monthly production breakdowns, gone. An annual number is all you need now. Worried about math errors? The system does the calculations for you. And all those really complex sections on things like safety or loans, they've been replaced with simple statements of commitment.
Now, listen up, because this is a critical piece of insider info that came straight from the government's own briefing. If any part of your mining plan falls within a designated forest area, you absolutely must disclose it and submit an overlay map. Why? Because the government already has its own data. If you try to hide it, they won't just flag it. They'll assume your entire operation requires a forestry permit, and that will bring your application to a dead stop.
The second you hit that submit button, a very specific clock starts ticking. This whole evaluation process is built for speed, which puts a ton of pressure on both you and the government to be incredibly responsive. So let's break down what to expect so you're not caught off guard. So the government's evaluation teams give themselves a maximum of 5 working days to review your submission. And here's a nice little bonus. If all the evaluators finish giving their feedback early, you get the application sent back to you immediately. You don't have to wait for the full 5 days to run out.
Now, when they send it back to you with revisions, your window to act is tiny. You get just 2 working days, and if you miss that deadline, the system doesn't wait. It automatically resubmits your old, uncorrected version for you, and poof, you've just burned through one of your precious chances to get it right.
You get exactly 3 chances, 3 rounds of revisions. If your application still isn't good enough after that 3rd try, it's rejected. End of story.
This whole rapid back and forth is designed for speed, which means your team needs to be on standby, ready to jump on any feedback immediately.
And the stakes here are just incredibly high. If you get that final rejection, your company gets only one more chance, one shot to submit a completely new application for the year. And if that second attempt fails, that's it. Game over. Your operations for 2026 are shut down. Period.
Okay, so you did it. You navigated the whole process and your RKAB is approved. Fantastic. But, as I'm sure you know, the work isn't over. Not by a long shot. Now the game shifts to compliance. Let's go over the hard and fast rules you absolutely must follow.
Think of these as bright red lines you cannot, under any circumstances, cross. Producing even 1 single ton over your approved annual limit is a massive violation. Same goes for doing any physical work, even just exploration, in a forest area without a valid forestry permit, the PPKH. Break these rules and you're looking at severe penalties, including an immediate suspension of all your activities.
And this is a super important point that trips up a lot of companies. An approved RKAB is your license to plan your operations. It sets your production quota for the year, but it is not a permit to actually start digging. You still need to get all your other permits, like land rights or that forestry use permit, secured separately before a single shovel hits the ground.
So, as you're working through your 2026 plan, what's the one thing you need to obsess over? It's simple. Reporting. Diligent, accurate, on-time reporting. Getting this right not only keeps it compliant this year, but it also creates the clean data foundation that's going to make your 2027 application that much smoother. Get the reporting right, and you're already a step ahead for next year.